Yesterday we witnessed something absolutely historic as Novak Djokovic came from a set down to hand Nadal his third loss in 16 years at Roland Garros. The match was going to be history in itself as it was very important for both. We all know about the Grand Slam race, and Nadal was only 2 matches from breaking the Grand Slam record. On the other side, Djokovic by beating Nadal can obviously stop him from getting another one, and if he wins the French Open, be just one away from Federer and Nadal, and become the first man in the Open era to win all the Grand Slams at least twice. The job is not done yet, as Djokovic will need to fight against Tsitsipas this Sunday, but you cannot argue it feels like he already deserves it, as yesterday's performance was one of the greatest ever seen, and it takes that to get past Nadal at the French Open. So let's take a look at how did Djokovic beat Nadal, and how did he play different to all the players that have failed to beat Nadal on this court. Before that, just let me remind you that you can subscribe to the channel for more great tennis content like this. I upload a video every single week and you don't want to miss it. 97% of you guys who watch my videos are not subscribed yet to the channel, so what are you waiting for? It's free, bro! This said, let's start with the video. Now let me just start by saying that you can have a game plan against Nadal at the French Open. We all know that Djokovic has a game that can damage Nadal more than any other player. But on this court, the execution of that game plan has to be perfect, and your consistency throughout the match has to match Nadal's, which is something that is almost impossible, not only because you have to be mentally focused throughout all the match, but to keep the pace physically against Nadal is something that very few players can do. And Djokovic said it throughout the tournament, he was hitting the ball very well and he was feeling very well physically. And his fitness did not disappoint him yesterday, as he looked the fresher player throughout the third and fourth set. A third set which, by the way, was one of the greatest sets ever played. So the match started with Djokovic finding himself 5 games to love down in a very similar way to last year's final. At that point, most of the people thought it was going to be a straight set victory for Nadal, but Djokovic had other plans. He actually got his teeth into the set and got to 5-3 and deuce. Nadal ended up winning that game and the first set, but after those 4 games, you could feel Djokovic was going to be a tough task for Nadal. Until the 5 love down, the execution was not there yet. Djokovic was taking the ball very early, something that against Nadal on this court requires exquisite timing, so it took some time for Djokovic to adapt to Nadal's ball. But the game plan was the correct one. The question now was, can he maintain this level of execution throughout the rest of the match? Djokovic took the second set by 6-3, and the feeling was he was playing just a bit better than Nadal. Djokovic's serve was pretty poor in the first set, but it was starting to get better and better, not hitting aces and having free points, but he was hitting his spots pretty well, which was allowing him to have the initiative of the points. The conditions in the third set started to get slower and slower, something that was talked a lot in last year's final, that on paper would favor Djokovic, but last year it actually didn't. Because yes, maybe Nadal's forehand doesn't do as much damage, but at the same time it's much more difficult to get past Nadal, and in last year's final Djokovic struggled so much to get past him. And in the third and fourth set came a very smart adjustment from Djokovic, because man, this guy is so intelligent on court. Not only has he got a clear game plan when he goes into a match, but he then knows how to adapt his game so well to his opponent and make adjustments throughout his matches. And one of the keys why Djokovic won the third and fourth set was how well he opened the court, especially with his forehand. Because like I say, when conditions start to get slower and the ball starts to get very heavy, it is so tough for Djokovic to hit winners past Nadal. And opening the court would not only help him earn points, but it would make Nadal run huge distances throughout points, something that he would physically end up paying, as Djokovic was the fresher man in that fourth set. Like I said before, that third set was one of the greatest sets ever played. So many epic rallies that are beyond imagination. So much drama. 2 times Djokovic was up a break, he was serving for the set and had 30 love, missed an easy forehand, and Nadal ended up putting himself with 6-5 up and a set point on the return. But like always, Djokovic is so clutch, he played a magnificent drop shot and won the game. And the tiebreak would get even more dramatic. What a volley did Nadal miss after such an epic rally? Djokovic would close the set with his 2 serves. Although being 2 love up in that fourth set, you could feel Nadal did not have much left on the tank, and Djokovic was clearly the better man in that fourth set. Also, Nadal served 8 double faults in this match, which is not that much in a 4-hour match, and it wasn't like they came in huge moments, but in such a close match, every single free point you give up ends up being big. Djokovic only had 37 unforced errors, which doesn't sound like it's that little, but in a 4-hour match with that intensity, with that type of rallies, and Nadal making you play one more shot every single point, 37 is nothing. Having more winners than unforced errors against Nadal at the Philippe Chatrier, where he demands so much out of you to hit a winner past him, it's actually a miracle, and Djokovic had 13 more winners than unforced errors. Such clean and well executed tennis. It surely has to be one of the greatest performances in the history of tennis, and that's what it takes to beat Nadal at the French Open. Man, what an epic contest. Many people ask me, which is your favorite player? Who even cares, man? Some people just need to learn to appreciate what they have in front of them. Us tennis fans are so damn lucky right now to have the 3 greatest players of all time playing at the same time and literally giving us the greatest matches ever. The level of their matches is just not human. The intensity, the focus, the rallies, the atmosphere they create, and they've been giving us this for more than 15 years. They are just unreal. It's funny because I made this poll yesterday asking which match was gonna be better. What are Tsitsipas and Zverev supposed to do? They are number 5 and number 6 in the world, but still when you look at the match between Nadal and Djokovic, it just looks like they're playing another sport. Even the French government had to understand that these two were producing such a match that there's no way the crowd can leave. They were witnessing something historic. They just reached another level of tennis, something only they can produce. But this said, I'm actually not so sure that Djokovic will win the final on Sunday. I remember seeing this mind-blowing stat that players that beat Nadal in a match that's not a final, in the great majority of cases, do not end up winning the tournament. Nadal just takes so much out of you. The mental and physical effort Djokovic did yesterday is very difficult to recover from, but as he said in his interview after the match, it's not the first time he's played an epic and long semi-final and has to recover from it in less than 2 days. So let's see, but an interesting final awaits. Honestly, I think we all feel like Djokovic deserves the trophy so much after beating Nadal in such a match, and even more with his history in this tournament where he's lost so many heartbreaking matches. And I think we all agree that he deserves more than one French Open title. Only one French Open title for such a great clay court player is not justice. But let's see, it will be an interesting final, I'm sure. I know this video was supposed to be more of an analysis of the match, but I just wanted to add that personal touch in the end and tell you guys that let's appreciate these legends because we don't know how many more battles they're gonna give us. We are witnessing history. In a battle for the greatest of all time, these two gave us one of the greatest matches of all time. A battle that will never be forgotten. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. If that's the case, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more great tennis content like this, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Peace!